Greetings, punks, goths, metalheads, herberts, herbetters, Martians and subterranean folk and train spotters. How you all doing? My name's John and this is the Health Anarchist channel. Well, today I'm going to talk about a subject that I've been thinking about recently, and it's when you buy new boots or even an old pair of boots and they're really hurting you. Now, I've noticed a lot of young people seem to struggle a lot with this. So I've been wearing boots all of my life, you know, since I was 14 up until now I'm 51. And I've learned all sorts of tips along the way that can help a lot, and it can sort of ease that amount of suffering you're doing when you get a new pair of boots. And it's also a bit about breaking new boots in and how to do it easily. Now, there's all sorts of weird methods and stuff out there on breaking in a new pair of boots, and some of it's quite bizarre, like getting in the shower with a pair of new boots on and getting them soaked and letting them dry to mould around your feet. And I've heard one where someone said you should pee on your boots, but I mean, I'm not going to talk about anything strange and bizarre like that. I'm going to talk about practical things that I've learned that really help, and they work for me. They might not work for everyone, but I think they will help some people. And it just makes getting a new pair of boots a more pleasant experience, because let's face it, all of us alternative people, we love our boots, and you know, it's a big part of our identity. So we'll get straight into it. Now, the first one is a very obvious one, and we all make mistakes, and I've made this mistake myself in the past, which I'll tell you about in a minute. It's make sure you've got exactly the right size boot for your feet. I mean, when I was 17, I had my feet measured and I was a UK size 11. So, you know, for years and years afterwards, I thought I'm an 11. So I just bought size 11 boots. But then, just by an odd chance in my mid-20s, I got my feet measured again, and I was a size UK 12. So my feet had gone up a size, and that is because your feet don't stop entirely growing till you're about 20, 21. So, you know, if you have your feet measured at 16, 17, 18, your feet might grow a bit. So do keep getting your feet measured. I mean, like I say, they can continue growing till you're 20, 21. Now, you can go into any shoe shop and you can get your feet measured for free. You don't have to buy a pair of shoes, you can just get your feet measured there. And once you've got your exact size, you can use that when you buy new shoes. So once you've got your exact UK size, you can use all the conversion charts and stuff when you're buying shoes online, and you can get a pair of shoes that's hopefully an exact match for you. So with boot sizes, it's always better to be slightly larger than slightly too small. There's not really anything you can do with a pair of shoes that's too small. They're just going to ruin your feet. But if they're slightly too large, there are ways you can still wear them, like wearing extra thick woolly socks and stuff. So yeah, always go for slightly larger if you've got no choice. So the next tip is, when you've got a new pair of boots, you want to be wearing 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of thin socks, because the science behind that is, instead of rubbing your feet to shreds, the 2 pairs of socks are going to rub together most of the time inside your boots. So that's going to save you a lot of friction, as in big blisters and stuff. I'll show you now what I mean by wearing 2 pairs of thin socks. Right, for the purpose of this video, I've put a pair of shorts on. Sometimes I wear shorts in the summer, but also there'll be people out there, some people wear shorts, some people wear skirts, some people wear dresses. So this is going to help those people more when I describe what I'm doing. So first, I've got my first pair of socks on, thin socks. I'm going to put a second pair on over those. Right, so I've got my 2 pairs of socks on, my boots are laced up, and the other important thing with this method is you want to be making sure your socks overlap the top of your boots by about 1 inch. And the reason for this is, apart from rubbing down here on your heels and your toes, this area gets really rubbed when you're wearing high boots, and some of you will know this, and it's you get like a big red ring, and it's really sore and stings. And yeah, You pull them up about an inch over the top of your boots. If they're long enough, that's going to protect your legs there, and it's no joke when you get those big painful red rings around the top of your boots. I did it once in the summer. A new pair of boots were rubbing me. Took my boots off, I was at the seaside, got in the sea and all the salt water got to it and it really stung. So this is going to save you a lot of pain and discomfort. So the second tip is when you've got a new pair of boots, when you first get them, make sure they're really loosely laced when you wear them. You don't want them laced up tight, you want them as loose as possible without them, you know, being a problem and falling off your feet. And that just gives your feet time to adjust to them. It just gives you an extra bit of leeway while you're breaking the boots in. I'll show you what I mean with that now. So as you can see, I've got these boots laced up quite tightly now. This is because they're well worn in, they've been broken for years. But when you get a new pair, you ought to be doing this with your laces. Let me just show you. So as you should be able to see there now, I've got them really loosely laced up, and you can even go further than that if you want to give your feet a bit more respite. So you can even half lace a pair of boots up like this, so the bottom half is laced and the top half is open. So yeah, loose laces on a pair of new boots definitely, and you want 2 pairs of thin socks on. So the next bit of advice I've got is when you get your new boots, if you've got your 2 pairs of socks and you've just got them laced loosely, just wear them a little bit at first. Maybe go for a little short walk to the shops or something in them, come home, take them off, and just do this for a while, short journeys out in them. And you can build up gradually doing longer distances, and when you've had them on for a couple of weeks, you should be good to go. And you can also wear them indoors. You've got your 2 pairs of socks and you've got them loosely laced up, and you can like wear them around the house, and that'll help you break them in as well. Right, the next bit of advice I've got to give you is blisters. Blisters can be an absolute nightmare. So the best bit of advice I can give you, if you've just gone out the house, as soon as those boots start rubbing you, as soon as it's hurting, it's a good chance you've got a blister started. So if you want to get those boots off as fast as you can and get a plaster over the blister. If you don't do that immediately, you're going to end up with really deep blisters going through several layers of skin. So it's a good idea when you've got a new pair of boots to carry a pack of plasters around with you in your pocket or in your bag. Now you can get all kinds of fancy blister plasters and stuff which are great, but they can be expensive. And I found the best tip for plasters for blisters is these, and they're really cheap, and you can get them from like your local bargain stores for about 59p. Basically it's these, they come in a big strip and you just have to cut them up. But they last for ages, really cheap, and you can cut them, you know, to cover your whole heel if you want to, and they just make really good cheap plasters. And I find these the best for the price and the coverage, and they really do help with blisters. So, you know, if you've got bad blisters, you want to cover them up, and maybe give that new pair of boots a rest for a few days until the blisters heal up. But, you know, if you take it slowly, you should save yourself a lot of pain, and you should break those boots in a lot more easily. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did like it, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. And until the next video, keep yourself very safe. Take care now. Bye.